Rising tensions between the victorious powers divided the occupied Europe at first. Then these differences led to the formation of the bipolar world order. In 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, was established with 12 member states to prevent a possible Soviet military aggression. Additional states joined the following years, such as the German Federal Republic in 1955. This created reason for the establishment of the Warsaw Pact, led by the Soviet Union as a counterpart to NATO. During the early 1960s, the USA deployed missiles in Europe, which could reach Moscow. As a response, the Soviets began the deployment of their own launch site in Cuba, which could pose a threat to Washington. The greatest conflict of the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, eventually ended through diplomacy. In 1966, France withdrew its armed forces from the supervision of NATO. Thus, the leadership of the organization went to Belgium. By the end of the decade, the two blocs accumulated great amounts of weapons of mass destruction, threatening nuclear safety. The SALT I and II negotiations, which aimed to provide limitations for these weapons, ended only with partial results. The true turning point came only in the early 90s. First, the two Germanys were united. Then the Warsaw Pact dissolved, followed by the Soviet Union. The organization set new goals, such as the integration of former socialist countries. The CFE Treaty was signed in Paris, which reduced the conventional armament of the Cold War forces. The preparation of cooperation between former foes was assisted through several maneuvers within the NATO Partnership for Peace program. Hungary joined NATO in the first stage in 1999. As the first one from the former socialist countries, thus initiating the reunification of the continent. Hungary played a significant role in the peacekeeping operations after the Yugoslav wars. After this, it participated in the NATO operations in Afghanistan from 2004 to the present day, and in Iraq from 2005 until 2011. Apart from the peacekeeping missions, Hungary gave further offers to the North Atlantic Alliance. The Zrínyi 2026 National Defense and Armed Forces Development Program, which was accepted in 2017, is the most overall and most complex Hungarian military capability development procedure of the last quarter century, which also increases the NATO defensive capabilities. This will allow Hungary to take a more active role in future peacekeeping operations and missions initiated by the organization.